friends were traveling a bit, so we're heading for home soon. But we had a mission to accomplish, so we're out on the road. But I think I'm actually starting earlier than I have been, or about the same time from my mountain perch. Had a lot of thoughts today about the kind of like kind of a new level of understanding in terms of the ascension process, perhaps, if I could call it that. I don't want to seem pompous about it, but and so much is going on. The Clarity Act, XRP, Coinbase continues to baffle me. I don't trust them. I don't understand what's going on with Coinbase. But again, there's so much misinformation. Hey, Benjamin, there's so much misinformation out there, and so much entanglement. I'm tempted to say quantum entanglement, because it's kind of like this thing over a million miles away affects something else. It's the information stream is it's not always cause and effect. It's so nuanced, and the creepazoids have taken it to such a dangerous level with the mainstream media and their ability to manipulate reality by taking both sides, by being both Democrats and Republicans, and confusing people, engaging people's emotions to the effect that they lose sight of what's really going on. And what's really going on is that they're eating kids. These are satanic beings. They're poisoning our skies. They are continue to steal our money. This is an ongoing situation that we need to wake up to. I also wanted to talk about how can I set up a quantum account? Do not set up a quantum account. Do not. Okay. If somebody's approached you about setting up a quantum account, it's a scammer. That is not that. Think about it. The quantum financial system, highly advanced, reacts to your DNA. Do you think they're going to ask you for your social security? First of all, a social security number will probably never be used again. It was a criminal act. This whole social security number and the birth certificate and the investing they did and the theft. This is just absolute theft, and they treated us like we're dead people. But yeah, do not. In my opinion, do not fill out, do not give anybody any information, even if it's if somebody sends you like, this is how I got scammed. Somebody sent me a Telegram message. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said, you got to get your XRP off of Coinbase right away. He said, you got to put it into this other thing. I thought it was my friend. I didn't know. It's just a scammer. And I reacted because Coinbase had made us so frightened. And because Coinbase, listen, I like Coinbase. I think it's a great platform, but politically, they are on the wrong side of things. And I'm just gonna just go with it. But there are a lot of things I want to talk about. Hey, Anton, you left X. I didn't leave X. I mean, maybe they took me down off X, but I didn't leave X. I never know where. I just do my best to stay on whatever channels I can stay on. I have no idea. I have no control. I'm getting shadow banned. I'm getting thrown off this one. I get, Rumble is my old favorite, Old Faithful. It's quirky. It's quirky out there. If you really want, you want to get to my stuff, you have to be a little bit persistent. I'm on YouTube, I'm on X. again, let me just finish this idea. Do not join. Do not give your information. Do not give your social security number. Do not give your bank account number. Do not give anything to say you're going to join the quantum financial system. You really think the quantum financial system, which is going to be basically like a galactic level financial system, it's like the whole thing with the revaluation. I mean, I cannot, I know Mark Z is a nice guy, right? He's probably a really nice guy. He's been very nice to this channel. He used to donate to our channel and everything else. He used to come on once in a while, kind of like, he just kind of breezed through our channel. He has been telling people for years, not just he, but a lot of people, that you need to have like an empty suitcase to fill with cash. You're going to be rewarded. You're going to be a bondholder. You bought Zim bonds and dongs and dinars, and they're going to call you up because you've been such a good little radical, and you never really joined the matrix. This is just bullshit. This is up there with the EBS coming, with Mr. Poole saying the EBS is coming this week. But he's been saying that for 10 years. Okay. And Sherry, it's all happening. No, it's not. It's and these are scammers. I don't know where Mark Z is holding, but so many people have given up their financials, brain to wait for a call they're going to get where they have to show up, and don't be early and don't be late and make sure no one's following you. Does that sound like the quantum financial system to you? Are it's just, we have to be very savvy, because there are a lot of scammers out there that are going to play on, if you know a little bit about the situation now, they're going to try to pull you in. That's what they did to me, because they knew I was freaked out because of Coinbase and because of all this illicit activity around XRP with Gary Gensler and Jay, whatever his name is. These are criminals. These are people who this is treason. And I think I think this Armstrong character, I don't know. Again, the information stream is so nuanced. You can't really tell what's true and what's not. I'm referring to, let me just show you this thing. I just saw this post. Okay, the highest form of spirituality is childlike fun. I totally believe that. But let's see if I can. I can't. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, wait, what's going on? I hate to press everything. Okay, so here we go. I just saw this post. Okay, so Armstrong is saying that he said, Justin, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, speaking on the Clarity Act, stated today, there is now a path forward where we can get a win-win-win outcome here, a win for the crypto industry, a win for the banks, and a win for the consumer. That's what this guy is saying. Now then I see this other post. Let's see, I just saw this. Right. This is from Laura Luma. Why is Brian or Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, hiring key figures from Biden's inner circle, like top Democrat strategist David Pawlowski, a senior advisor to Kamala Harris's campaign, while publicly praising President Trump's pro-crypto policies? So totally subversive behavior by Coinbase to hire Obama campaign manager and the architect of the Kamala Harris's presidential campaign, this David Pluffy, whatever his name is, the same day Coinbase met with Donald Trump about the crypto summit. So listen to what this guy says. It is simply not enough to beat Trump. He must be destroyed thoroughly. His kind must not rise again. I mean, this is just insane. This is just showing us, Laura Loomer is right about this. If this is true, and again, we don't really know if this is true, but this guy, Brian Armstrong, is playing both sides of the street. and he's not on our side. He has shown that. This is a great post. Tell me I'm wrong, but no veteran should ever sleep on the street in the country they once protected. 100%. That's just outrageous. Mother Nature does not do this. Psychopaths do. A few thousand lunatics hell-bent on killing 7 billion people with chemtrails, jabs, bombs, and bullets. This is with the chemtrail. It's just insane. Reminder, tomorrow, Crypto Summit on Clarity Act is tomorrow. Deal almost ready. I don't know what's up with this Brian Armstrong. I just know that I lost a large chunk of my retirement because of what the panic and the fear and the treasonous behavior on the part of Jeffrey Epstein, Coinbase, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Gary Gensler and Jay, whatever his name is. These guys perpetrated a crime, a financial crime against humanity. Really, and there's no other way to explain it. They just like scam the world with XRP. We could not buy XRP in New York City. I was not able to buy XRP through normal channels. You couldn't do it. This is criminal behavior. Okay, so Brian Armstrong is saying that he wants to take down Trump, and he's meeting with Trump on the same day. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. Again, there's so much misinformation. I just saw another post that said that Bill Gates is getting all this money through the State Department. I don't know where this information comes from. We can't really check the sources on this, but it is outrageous at this point in the game to see all this, having Jeffrey Epstein come out and saying he basically started Bitcoin, and Coinbase is all about supporting Bitcoin and Ethereum and not supporting the real financial backbone of the future, which is XRP, XLM, HBAR, and all the others. These are scammers. Brian Armstrong should be in Gitmo. I don't understand, and maybe he is. We don't. That's what I'm saying. We don't really know. Maybe the real Brian Armstrong has been taken to Gitmo years ago. He and Gary Gensler, nice Gary Gensler. I mean, you can't get. I mean, these are criminals. These are hardcore criminals. I don't understand how they get away with it, but I don't think they do, and I don't think they do. I don't believe they're getting away with it. I believe these could be doubles. We don't know. And these are the kinds of distractions. These are the kind of distractions, and they want to engage our emotions and our sense of outrage. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe when enough people start to really complain and call their representatives and call their senators and say, we're tired of having these demons, because there's no other way to describe this. These are not human beings that are poisoning our air. A human being does not do that. That's called mass murder. That's called perpetrating a Holocaust. That's not a normal thing. All these people that are associated with Jeffrey Epstein, these are not normal. These are hybrids. These go back to Cain. And again, I mean, I'm just sort of ranting. I just got off on this sort of rant, but we do not know our history. All the things we accept as being normal. Oh, well, it's in the Bible. I mean, really? They changed. I mean, I've made this point before. They changed the news. They changed the history. They changed our economy. They changed our medicine. They changed everything in this matrix. And they perpetrated these crimes against humanity, but they didn't change the Bible. The Bible's totally, I don't buy it. I do not buy it. I know it's a sensitive area, but the point is that we've got to, or I've got to start being smart about these things. And the more I hear about Tartaria and the idea that they're saying 1776, 1812, that these creeps, these banksters, these demonic entities that ran the Catholic Church, Washington, D.C., the Bank of England, this force that destroyed of highly advanced civilization. They destroyed it probably because the good people of Tartaria probably just couldn't even imagine the level of evil of these people, just like we cannot really relate to how evil these people. They kill children, they eat children, they're not people. So it's easy for me to go off on a tirade about this, and I do not trust Brian Armstrong. I do not trust, for sure, Gary Gensler should be tried for crimes against humanity, but by financial crimes against humanity, by backing Ethereum and Bitcoin, which were slave trader coins, which don't essentially work, by making sure the market, the forces that drive the market structure were not able to work. This is out and out fraud, out and out theft. And people like me got hurt because, I wasn't an experienced investor. I didn't know that, everything was XRP. I mean, think about it. XRP is it is the currency du jour. It is the currency that is running the economic system right now. It is. To think that they would perpetrate this crime against humanity to pretend that Bitcoin and Ethereum were going to run the economy. This is fraud, theft. And they were trafficking children and everything else at the same time. They're all in the Epstein paper. Gary Gensler was a friend of Jeffy. Jeffy and Gary, they probably drank some adrenochrome together. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I really believe we're coming in. They have defeated themselves by perpetrating these continued crimes, even the chemtrails, by doing this on and on and on, to the point that everyone wakes up and everyone says, well, really is that really a cloud? Is that really exhaust from an airplane? No, these are crimes against humanity. The virus, the chemotherapy, practically everything they sell in the supermarket, your doctor, your lawyer, they're all criminals, hardcore murderous criminals, or they're involved in this humongous criminal gang that will have to be taken down by the RICO clause, or it's really an invasion. They essentially invaded the world, and that's if I was to try to project what I think of as the real history of our lifetimes, I think it would be that we had a beautiful civilization, as evidenced by all these buildings all over the world, that the Freemasons, that the scammers, that these demonic entities, they got Freemasonry. They can't build this shit. They're useless parasites. All they can do is suck the energy out of people that really do stuff and create more parasites. They're a cancer on the world, and we are in the process of throwing them out. We, meaning the white hats, President Trump, the digital warriors, the people who are fighting for what's right here. We are bringing ourselves back to. They stole our technology. They stole our children. 8 million kids a year. we're just waking up to this, and it's going to be beautiful once we wake up. And that's what this is all about. So I don't know how I got off on this tirade. I wasn't really thinking about. I mean, we're kind of in a different environment. So we're in a city, and the vibes in a city are very different from the vibes when you're sitting on top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere. They removed the bell from the Methodist church in my childhood, right? The only place I ever experienced deja vu. Also removed the pipe organs. Yeah, Nancy, those were the signs of Tartaria. That's how they kept us healthy, was with these vibrational frequencies. But we're coming back to it. People are now, you're hearing once in a while about somebody being cured through music, through frequency. You know how Rockefeller changed the frequency to 440 from 432 so that it would be somewhat discordant and we would accept slavery, just like they're probably doing with the 5G towers and the metals that are in our body from the chemtrails. Everything is getting cleaned up little by little. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But really, most of it depends upon us waking up, just simply waking up, just realizing that's not like some pilot who went to pilot school and, he's got a mom and a dad and he's got a bunch of kids. These are demons. They may look like people, but they're probably reptiles. I don't know. I pray you get your XRP back from Central New York. Yeah, I pray too. I think the White Hats are quite capable. I'm sure that my XRP could be returned to me. It's right on the ledger, so it's not a mystery. And these people just stole it from me under false pretenses. I filed with the FBI and never heard back from them. I've just come to accept it, but yeah, it would be nice to get my XRP back. But the thing with XRP that I just realized recently, it's not just that we will own XRP and be rich. It's that the whole financial system will be out in the open. They won't be hiding, like when you get paid, when you're on PayPal, right? If you want to send money to somebody right away, or if you want your money right away, you have to pay an extra few percentages. You want a car. This whole thing is a scam, and they've perpetrated this idea that we really don't have that much, and there's just not much to go around, and so but this is bullshit. Anyway, I really didn't want to get off on this particular tangent tonight. Did you hear about the postal court action authorizing Trump to send cabal to FEMA camps? I don't know if it's true, but if so, game over. Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The creepazoids are always claiming that Trump is going to put them in concentration camps. It's really the other way around. They're saying the FEMA camps are concentration. It's just outrageous lie. These are criminals. Okay, they came into America illegally. They were bought and paid for by the creepazoids. They need to be removed. They've destroyed the financial systems, the school systems, the hospitals. Everything is gone wacko because of all these fake people. So, but copper can't be taken away from us. Nothing's going to be taken away from us. Nothing, because we're not stupid anymore. We have woken up. They can't do this stuff anymore. That what they fear most is an awakened population. They're not going to steal your copper. They're not going to take your silver. They're not going to take your gold. We let that happen before. Do you think the government's going to come into your house and you're just going to go like, you mean my gold? You want my gold? Sure, of course, you're right. No. People are not going that way anymore. I don't think. I think there are enough of us awake that would be like, You want what? Get out of my house. Don't come back. We have to stand up for ourselves. That's the difference. We are not. No one's going to come to save us. The government is not going to be. In my opinion, it's up to us. It's up to us. We have to wake up, or we just say no. But in my opinion, it's on all levels. It starts with paying a parking ticket, or paying getting a speeding ticket. I'm just like, no. I'm not paying that. I first of all, it goes against the Constitution for you to pull me over unless I've really done something wrong. And speeding is not, it's not a crime. I didn't hurt anyone. We have to stop complying. Absolutely 100%. I would be amazed if there are people on this channel who still pay taxes. I would just be like, really? Knowing that Jeffrey Epstein and his buddies are profiting and building their little palaces underground from your taxes, you're really going to pay that? That's called taxation without representation. Then they steal your elections. People who are educated will not comply on any level with these creepazoid criminals that are trying to kill us. Say, oh, well, Ellie, you got to pay your speeding ticket. I'm like, hell no. The same people that poison my food, that poison my medicine, that have corrupted the legal system so that it's a satanic system, I'm supposed to pay them some taxes? Are you really? And the Republic is the answer. And by the way, I did a text with Nancy, and Nancy says, go on republicforusa.org, and where it says join, and they'll call you. This is how we can do this. This is how we. Let me see if I can do that. Let me just see something. I can I can slow it down. Join the Republic. Stop paying the criminals. Stop rewarding the criminals. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. You have to do what if you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can't not pay taxes, you should pay taxes. I've said that for many times. If you feel like, oh my gosh, they're going to come and arrest me tomorrow, pay your taxes. You deserve a decent night's sleep. I'm not afraid of them anymore. I'm just not. I'm out. I'm done. They took my job. They took my YouTube channel because I was trying to tell people don't get vaccinated. They took my YouTube channel. They took they took my job. I was a public school teacher. I did not hurt anyone. I just didn't want to get vaccinated. And so where was the teachers union? Where was the sense of outrage? Nothing. They want to kill you. They want to kill me. Do we surrender? Do we just say, you know what? The chemtrails, there's nothing I can do about it. What am I going to do? No, get on the phone. Call your representatives. I'm talking to myself. I need to do that. We need to make enough noise so that these demons have to find another way. They all have to go to Gitmo and be tried. Human body was created perfect. All sickness, so-called diseases, a sign of poisoning. You're poisoned. Right. They're poisoning us with the nutrition, with the drugs. The drugs. Look at, I don't want to do selfish, but when you look at, I'm just going to do this. When you look at the Lifeway product, let's look. This is a friend of ours. This is somebody who comes to our channel. This is what her blood looked like after being chemtrailed. That's what it looks like. Then she took, let me show you another one. Another picture of, this is her blood, a picture of her blood. They pricked her finger. They took a picture of her blood. This is a picture of her blood after all the chemtrails came over her house. This is just one of many. I have like 15 pictures like this. This is what her blood looked like. These are like fibroids in the middle of what should be liquid. And then she took these she took the LifeWave patches, which are designed, they're created to help you. And then 2 weeks later, her cells look like this. They're normal. Her blood cells look normal. How do you account for that? Why isn't LifeWave given to everybody on the planet? But we're all waiting for the chemtrails. But what about this? This is the result of the chemtrails. My sweetie, man, she won't go out when it's raining. She won't go out in the rain because she's afraid of the chemicals in the rain. And rightfully so. She has eczema. She doesn't want to get poisoned by the chemtrails. These are poisons in the food supply. All of it. So we're waking up as a community. I'm just saying, if you know, seeing those pictures before and after. This is after 2 weeks of taking X39. I think she took glutathione, maybe Eon as well. But she took a couple patches. She started putting the patches on her body, and then her blood cleaned up. Call Dr. Stacy, get some patches. The government's not going to send you. The government's going to send you doctors who are going to give you. The doctors are basically drug pushers for the pharmaceutical companies, and they're going to give you stuff that it won't kill you overnight. They'll put you on a program so that you'll die in 10 years instead of 25 years. I mean, they did it to my father. They killed my father with these blood thinning things. He was strong as a horse. My father, are you kidding me? Kill my father? You would have to do something as diabolic and sinister and underhanded as that to kill the man. Was a horse. The man was, I'm like, I'm a fluffball compared to my father. He was, World War II type guy. I mean, these guys, it was a different world back then. I'm lucky that I had him as a father because I can still, I can use a screwdriver. Most people don't know how to use a screwdriver. You think a screwdriver is easy to use? If you think a screwdriver is really just easy, you have the right kind of screwdriver and then you don't know how to use a screwdriver. It's not a simple thing. It's just not a simple thing. And we don't even have these skills anymore. But anyway, I didn't come. I don't want to rant and complain about things because I think things are being cleaned up. And, like I said, if you want to call Dr. Stacy, we appreciate it. We love people to get healthy and to be on that track for good health. Let's go back to our chat. Where we go one, we go all. Yeah. Did you see when the snow cleared up in New York City? It was, yeah. I saw that. I know these are sick, demonic, twisted. Look at the Epstein papers. They got millions of pages of. They were impregnating young little women, routinely raping them, and it's just. These are not humans. These are not people who can be, who can recover and change and become. Gary Gensler's gonna all of a sudden he's gonna be like, I made a big mistake. Me and Jeffy, we got together and we decided to make it impossible for people like Ellie Weber to scam them, to basically scam the world. And it's okay because they got away with it. Well, I don't think they got away with it. I'm sure that Gary Gensler is Gary Gensler 2.0. That's my feeling, that these were crimes against humanity to scam the world. And all the little pawns who do it as well. Yes, so yes, they're sick. They're very sick. But we need to get beyond this. The thing that I really wanted to emphasize tonight, and I don't want to go on and on with this rant, is that I thought to myself, I've been thinking to myself, or I've been discovering things. I'm very into metacognition. I'm very into studying my thinking, studying my emotions, improving, working on myself. I'm not like, whoa, I'm an ascended master. No, none of that bullshit, man. I'm a regular dude, and I got issues, and I'm constantly trying to refine myself. And Baruch Hashem, thank God, I have, a wonderful woman, and I can see where, how wrong I can be. I can make a mistake, and then I can say, look, I'm really sorry. I didn't really mean that. I just, we're so conditioned, or I'm so conditioned by 70 years of programming from vicious, satanic criminals that have told us that the problem is us, not them. They're the good guys. We just need to clean up our act. We've been told that. The religions told us that. The schools told us that. The colleges told us that. All the community told us that the problem is us. We're sinners. We're born into sin. I don't accept that. I can't. This is not God. This is something else. This is the twisted sisters, the twisted demonic force that runs the world, that ran the world. Are they running the world now? Well, they're still putting out the chemtrails. XRP is still at less than $1.50 the last time I checked, and Bitcoin's at $6,600,000. A worthless coin that does nothing but burn up energy, and the world is coming together. In my opinion, the world is getting better. What I really wanted to say tonight, and this is everything that I just said, you take it with a grain of salt, because it's just me summarizing where I think the world is holding. But the truth of the matter is, in my humble opinion, I love Trump, Kennedy Jr., Nikola Tesla. Yeah, they're beautiful. In the end, God wins. And how does God really win? Are we gonna like take out, we're all gonna buy heat-seeking missiles and blow up the guys with the chemtrails up there? I don't see that happening. I don't think that's a realistic possibility. We're not the military. The military needs to get some heat-seeking missiles and take out those people. They all need to be destroyed or taken to Gitmo immediately. They've been hinting that these forces are so sick and so entrenched within the power structure of the world that they still pose a threat to those in power. That if President Trump and RFK Jr. just arrested them all, that they'd be in big trouble. That these people still have a certain amount of power. So it has to be done with a certain amount of delicacy. The real thing, the thing that I'm thinking of tonight, or I've been thinking about lately for some reason. Remember last night we saw about the levels of ascension. And I realized that I've been telling people, you need to get a sense of purpose. You need to do what you love to do. And I use myself as an example. I love building my house in the desert. I'm in love with the whole process. Everything about it. I love being with Daniela. I love our life together. I feel like I'm aligned with my true purpose. I'm not working in the school system for a pension. I'm not dodging the bullets in the New York City public school system anymore from ambitious administrators that could care less. They make a big show about how much they love the kids, and then they don't care either, as evidenced by the fact that they take all their money. The money that's, but then again, the school system's been taken over by illegal immigrants anyway. So it's a kind of a weird thing. But this is something that I've been kind of understanding lately. And that is, yes, you should be fulfilling your purpose. You should be putting your energy into doing things you love, because that's the future. In the near future, in my opinion, we're all going to have tons of money. It's not going to be just the people that have XRP. It's that XRP will allow us to have real money, not just debt notes that somebody prints in, they have a printing machine. But that the next level, at least for me, is not just to do what I love, but to work on the fundamental foundation of who I am. And what I said, what I've been saying in the last couple of days is that I don't know how it happened, but generally, the part of me that was very matrix oriented, the part of me that lived in fear, the part of me that was constantly playing these movies in my head of me being, issued up to the principal of the school yet again with another, and that all these things, that I lived for many years and that are very hard to give up. And I often refer to Joe Dispenza as a very good person to talk about breaking these thought streams. There's certain thought streams that you grew up with, that your parents told you, that your teachers told you, that your friends told you about who you are, and they need to be rerouted. They need to be eliminated. So, yes, you should be, or I am trying to live the life that I've always dreamed of living, but also, I need to become the kind of person that I really want to be. And that is a work in progress. I'm certainly not there. I can tell myself, hey man, I'm doing what I love, I'm building a house, everything is cool. But still, if I haven't really worked out all these issues, and I haven't, then I need to do it. We need to become ourselves. We need to work on ourselves to the point that we no longer just stop experiencing fear, but we really start to embody the joy of living, the joy of community, the joy of supporting another human being, no matter how far away they are from this kind of joyful state. So that we need to leave Egypt on a physical level. We need to leave our jobs. We need to stop paying taxes. We need to stop going to doctors and lawyers and feeding the beast. But we also need to, yes, be heading for the promised land, doing what you love, building your dreams, whatever that may be, even if it's like some people just want to lay on a beach for a couple of months or a year. Maybe they need to do that. I did. I just needed to hear the sound of the ocean for a year or two. For some reason, my inner guides were saying, just go sit by the water, just hang out by the water. And then they said, go to Arizona. And I follow these inner intuitive ideas. But at the end of the day, it is not enough to simply do what you love to do. It is to become the person that you really are, to become the godly force. Because I'm noticing now that I was telling you last night that I feel this void. I feel this like I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm like, I don't have that fear space anymore. I've been successful in routing out those voices of fear. And I've been working on this for decades, decades. I ate more mushrooms than I want to admit and analyzed every little voice inside my head. It's like, why am I telling myself I'm a failure over and over again? Where did that come from? And I would people would be, oh, he's all tripped out. No, I was doing it. I don't know. I don't know where Terrence is holding. With this, but I use it as a tool to examine and really go into the dark spaces within my psyche and try to understand and correct. So recently I realized I don't get scared anymore. Like today, I did a broadcast with John Dowling. And by the way, I kudos again to John Dowling. Nobody else in the entire patriot community has ever really, I mean, maybe one or two people a long time ago have ever reached out to me and said, would you like to broadcast with me? We like your ideas. We think you have something to say. We want, Joe Blow, whatever, AG Anon or whatever his name is, all these, Nino, none of these people ever reach out to me. John Dowling insists every month that I meet with him. And I love the man for that. I think I have an incredibly valuable piece of information in this giant puzzle, and nobody seems to want to reach out to me and help, not just make me like some kind of big hero. I don't give a shit about that. But the message has to get out there. And I know there are people producing the same message as me, like this guy, Fisher, Zachary Fisher. I mean, but what I'm seeing today is that I have the whole fear space. So I broadcast with John Dowling at 1:00. At 12:45, I did not have a place to broadcast from. I was like, and I didn't go into incredible thoughts of fear and what am I going to do and what if it doesn't work out, and that's the kind of space I would have traditionally been in. I was just like, hey man, it's going to work out. And it did. It worked out. I was here at 12:56. I was in this hotel room at 12:56 against, in the large teams, in terms of logical structure of the world, the way we view the world, this was almost an impossibility. And I got there. But the thing that was different was that I wasn't afraid. I wasn't telling myself, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to pull this off. I wasn't in the fear space. And that's the part of me that I miss in a way. I miss the misery because I know the misery and I'm comfortable with it. So I no longer have that sense of fear about everything. I'm not a fearful little dude anymore. I'm not this like wild-haired Jewish dude that's like, constantly worried that the man is going to be knocking on my door in 5 minutes, even though I didn't do anything wrong. So a part of me misses the negativity because I haven't gone to the next step, in my opinion. This is just my analysis of the situation, because I haven't fully replaced the angst. It's gone. I mean, it's miraculous. This is part of the evolution of mankind. This is happening. This is the vibrations, the Schumann resonance, the astrological signs are that we are changing, that something is changing us. And I don't feel that fear is just gone. I kind of miss it because I was familiar with the fear space. So, in my opinion, the next place where I have to go, I don't know where you're holding, where I have to go is to replace those big balloons that seem so empty right now with joy and gratitude. I mean, I have it. When I think about it, I'm like, wait a minute. I should be really happy right now. When I think about it, and then I can muster up the joy. I can consciously tell myself, hey, what are you doing right now? Are you not? Do you not see how beautiful your life is right now? Are you not appreciating this? Does the creator have to put you through a car accident again so that you're so grateful you can walk, that you appreciate all these incredible gifts of good health, of a great relationship, of having I don't have the millions of dollars, whatever, but I have what I need. And so that to me is the next step. It's not enough to just be doing exactly what you want to do with your life. It's that I need to ascend to the next level where the void goes away, because the void is replaced. The void that I'm missing this negativity because I'm so used to it, that now I want to replace that loneliness that I have, for the angst, with accepting the joy of being, of how wonderful it is to be in the moment, of not feeling shame for everything I did in the past, or worry that the future's it's totally out of time, and just being in the moment and saying, I'm safe. We just came back from Sprouts. We got some cool food to eat. I'm with Daniela. I mean, I have a vehicle that works. All these things. So I'm just saying that for me, that the work for me is now to really to embrace the joy of this new world. And yes, I want to fight the demons. I want to call my congressman, and I mean, I've actually done that. I mean, I've Katie Hobbs, whatever her name is, she said, "Oh, those are condensation trails." I'm like, really, Katie, man? You think I'm that stupid? And they do. They think if they say something enough, we're going to just believe them. It's over for them. They're gone. They are. Gary Gensler, I'm sure, will be spending some time in Gitmo if he hasn't been executed already. I don't know. I mean, he and Jeffy, who knows what they were doing? Who knows what little girls? I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. It's none of my business. But this guy Armstrong, is he really hiring people to say this about President Trump, who is trying to hire Judy Shelton to bring honest money back to the world, to where people no longer are scrounging around to get some kind of debt note that they have to sacrifice their whole lives to get a few of these debt notes just so they can pay off some bills. That's called slavery. We're leaving slavery. We're leaving Mitzrayim. We're leaving the narrow place, and we're coming into the promised land. And the promised land is full of joy and full of gratitude and full of the beauty of this planet, the empty spaces. People in the Matrix think, well, there's too many people. Bullshit. The people have been killed by the vaccination. And this, the hospitalizations and the food and the medicine, they're not that many people, and there's tons and tons of land. And you can buy land if you don't have to live near a fancy city which I don't even want to be near a fancy city, but you can buy a nice parcel of land. And I'm just saying, for me, you could build a house. You don't have $400,000 in your back pocket or $200,000. I think my whole project might be, I don't know what I'm going to end up spending at the end, but could be 10,000, could be 20,000. But over time, I live on materials. I buy. I was trying to. I called the window place. I said, "How much for the windows?" They said $30,000, and that was before I even thought about putting on a second floor. $30,000. I'm like, really, $30,000 for the windows? And then I find people throwing away big pieces of glass called sliding glass doors and wanting to sell it to me, happy to sell it to me for $25. The world is full of possibilities, but that's just the action part. That is, and it's a beautiful part of this whole thing. But the real deal, and in my opinion, at this point for me, is embracing the joy of existence, the joy of living, of not having to worry, of not feeling ashamed of myself, of just feeling good about being out in the sunshine and getting to build the garden I've always wanted to have, and building a house. Now, it doesn't have to be that for you. A lot of people, they don't. I have those skills. I happen to have been a carpenter for 20 years, or a contractor for 20 years. So I've been around it. When I first got up here, I thought to myself, yeah, I'm not a redneck. I don't know how to fix a motor. I don't know any of these things. But now I'm like, I got a generator. I know what a generator is. I got a well. It's just, you learn. I wired up my solar panels. Anyway, most people don't know the glory of where we are in the wilderness. Yeah, it was reported 2 ships were on their way to Gitmo. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Life Touch Studios, who take all school pictures, were found by Pal of Epstein. Right. Yeah, I know. These people are relentless. It's relentless evil. Like Nancy with the thing with the church, and I mean, these people are just. Can you get any sicker than Jeffrey Epstein and his tens of thousands of buddies running the government, running the medical world, running the corporations, running the legal situations? We looked up to these people, the actors and actresses, Brucey Springsteen, we looked up to these people. These were the gods. The basketball players, it's just, these are criminals. But at the end of the day, it seems to me, I mean, from where I'm sitting now, it's like, I'm getting there. It is even for me to understand that whole fear and shame thing is gone. I don't have it. I don't have it so much to the extent that I miss it because I'm used to it. But that we're at a place where things are really going well. The Republic is starting, Nancy. I mean, this is huge. We're all waking up, and we're just not going to take it anymore. We're not putting up with these creeps. Not 1 inch of them. Nothing of theirs we want. Like I'm still not going to register my car. Apparently there is some way I can get my truck that I can get like an exemption, because I can't stomach the idea of doing anything for them, of complying with them about the littlest thing. Bruce Springsteen sucks. I know we all, the hard part for me is that I look up to Bob Dylan, and then to find out he sold his soul, he sold out to the devil. I don't know. Can't we do it without the devil? I think we can. I really think we can. Embrace new beginnings, new season, right? New era. It's the end of the short season of Satan. I'm not. This is JFK Jr. Don't sleep. You're not hiding anymore. Great. Listen, man, I'm ready. We're all ready. We're ready to go. At least people on this channel. You guys are like way ahead of the rest of the world. We're just here a little early, but it's happening. It's nothing can stop what's coming. So I don't know. I guess I'm just. I think this. I think you can see how I took this from, like just anger and like annoyance and pissed off at the demonic entities that are poisoning us and trying to kill us, and then realizing that they, like all the negative thinking inside of my persona, are gone. They're just gone. They're miraculously gone. If you had told me that there was going to be a point in my life when I wasn't really going to be able to muster much negativity anymore, and I'm not saying I'm 100% there, and I'm blessed to have Daniela, because because if you're not testing yourself, if you're not in a situation where you're for me, bonding with Daniela, I mean, I am just, sometimes I deal with Daniela from that old place of mine of like, is this normal? Is this okay? Is it, it's like, no, that's bullshit. Take one look. We went out for dinner tonight, and I was just thinking like, could it get any better than this? She's so unlike anyone. She's so outside the box that I just can't help but admire everything about her. Yeah, I love to love too. And I love to love everyone I meet. We were talking to the waitress who came we found out her name, we found out where she came from, and we just, to have a relationship with everyone you meet, to treat everyone you meet like God itself. The way you would treat, in the old days, a celebrity, right? Now we don't have it for those creepazoids. 1111 from Indiana, beautiful relationship, and it just came out of nowhere. They're taking me out again. I've been lonely since I can remember, since I was conscious. Since like 3 years old, I've been driven by, even I was a popular kid. But I was plagued by loneliness all my life, to the effect that like I would fantasize about, like meeting, like hanging out with an animal that really understood me. Like I love the Dr. Dolittle series, because it seemed to me that maybe animals could sense the real, could really feel my heart the way humans may not have been capable of. In Michigan, they have the nerve to have no tax or the registration now. Yeah. Anyway, we're all waking up, and it's going to be amazing. So that's my shtick for tonight. And I love you. I love you guys. I love you for being here. Thanks for gracing me with your presence, because I can't exist without you. You and me we are one. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Even if the Beatles were a little demonic, everything is, but it's changing, and we're coming into the promised land. So let's do the tune. And thanks again for helping us with the LifeWave project and bringing yourself into good health. Call Dr. Stacy, ask her for some X22. Ask her for some Eon. I'm using Eon now because my back is a little bit rough. I experience back pain on occasion. It goes away pretty fast, but it's something to get my attention. It's the universe's way of saying, okay, man, just be a little more grateful for all the good things you have, and maybe you're, and realize that the aches and pains that you may feel are healing. They're healing you, and so that one day you'll be out there, you won't even remember it. You'll be out there lifting up a 2x6 pain-free, just because. Anyway, thanks for supporting us with LifeWave. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. I mean, I hope you guys are grateful for yourself, and you look in the mirror and just once in a while just go, you're amazing. You're just amazing. How did this happen? How did I get to be such an amazing person? I hope you're saying that to yourself, because you are. If you could see you the way I see you, or the way, if you could see yourself from a different, slightly, not that I'm such a high being, but like, I love people. I like them. I like them. Even if you're thinking, well, I'm not this, I'm not that. Well, you are this, and you are that. So anyway, let's just do the tune, and thanks for putting up with me. Let's. I have to. That's right. I have to start it first. Okay, let's see if I can pull this off.
One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moving to paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band, leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
Yeah, so just take a moment out of your day, just a moment, and just look at yourself and just say, "Man, I got this. I did this. I saw the Satanists. I knew it was coming. Nobody else could believe me. I did this, and I'm a great person, and I'm not the sinner that that the world look at who's calling sinners sinners. The Epstein, the rulers of the world are calling us sinners. Do we eat children? No. Do we encourage people to take medicines that are bad for their health? No. Do we feed people poisonous food, make them breathe poisonous air, and we're the sinners? Are you kidding me? So embrace yourself, love yourself, and just know that it's just going to get better and better. May the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. You are Neo. You are the one. Nothing can stop what's coming. And where you go, one. That means if you go, you get to that place. You can start your own channel. You start your channel. You become that where one person goes, we all go. And we all have it in us. So may source be with you. May you realize you are the source of creation and the source of your own solutions. You don't need anyone else to come and save you. You can do it yourself. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face. Again, thanks everyone for coming tonight. Let's get out with a big smile on our face and